Okay, let's dive right into this, because we spend so much of our time completely stressed out about our daily earthly struggles, right? But what if we took a step back and reframed our entire existence through a cosmic lens? Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to unpack a truly fascinating philosophical text by an author named Xu Feng. It's called Life Should Be Spent Like This, and it offers a rather profound reframing of what it means to be human. Instead of getting bogged down in our daily anxieties, this text lays out a highly structured, almost mechanical view of spirituality. It deliberately shifts our focus from the temporary worries of today right into the infinite possibilities of tomorrow.
And Xu Feng's philosophy hooks you right from the start with a very simple truth. To quote the text, "We had nothing when we came to the earth, and cannot take even a piece of leaf when we leave." That realization is designed to instantly just relieve the immense pressure we often feel to achieve worldly success or hoard material wealth. According to this framework, life on Earth is just a beautiful, temporary experience. And because everything is just an experience, and because literally we can't take a single thing with us, we shouldn't fear setbacks, or failures, or taking risks. It frames life as this brief journey where the goal isn't to win or to accumulate stuff, but simply to experience everything fully, without holding back.
But to actually achieve that full experience, the text demands a very specific mindset from us: unapologetic rebellion. The author argues that without rebellion, we're just stuck, bound by the thinking and the limitations of everybody else. It really highlights the need to break new paths in jungles or wilderness, even if we end up, as the text translates it, black and blue. It's a call for fierce, unapologetic optimism. You are encouraged to never compromise to darkness and to bring your absolute best wisdom and talents into full play. The true value of your life, at least in this framework, comes from pioneering new paths and absolutely refusing to give up as long as you're still breathing. Which brings us to a really stark contrast in how we actually choose to live out our days. You can choose a negative lifestyle, being cowardly, lazy, pessimistic, and metaphorically hiding in the shadows, constantly jumping at ghosts knocking at midnight. Or you can choose the positive lifestyle. This one is optimistic, rebellious, open, and, as the text poetically puts it, pure as jade. The emphasis here is on absolute honesty, loving and hating openly, walking your talk, and making absolutely sure your internal thoughts match your external actions. It's about living so completely transparently that you never, ever have to fear the shadows. And this brilliantly illustrates that the ultimate goal of living transparently isn't actually just for yourself. As the text argues, the greatest life is the one that serves whole humanity, the life that brings people brightness, hope, and happiness. According to Xu Feng, serving humanity isn't just a moral duty. It acts as a personal catalyst. By holding this value, you allegedly unlock endless energy, great abilities, and immense wisdom. This selfless mindset is exactly what supposedly gives a person the crystal-clear mind needed to distinguish right from wrong, and that empowers them to push forward without fearing any hardship whatsoever.
But here's the catch. You aren't supposed to do this alone. Moving beyond just the individual mindset, this philosophy heavily insists on the vital importance of a like-minded community. Because while personal cultivation is the starting point, the text makes it incredibly clear that this journey cannot and honestly should not be a solitary one.
Cultivating meaningful connections is practically a requirement for this cosmic journey. You have to actively seek out those on your exact same vibration frequency. The text actually warns to avoid loneliness at all costs, arguing that traveling alone leads to a miserable, dull life that eventually just becomes a mere lament. Individual happiness, it argues, isn't real happiness. Group happiness is real happiness. Furthermore, it suggests that by maintaining a beautiful soul yourself, you will naturally attract good teachers and good friends to accompany you on the path.
Let's move to and see how this builds, zooming out to the broader, almost mystical mechanics of the universe. The text defines reality through three core elements: consciousness, structure, and energy. This is where the philosophy takes a fascinating turn from earthly advice about community and optimism right into a literal cosmic map. Understanding how these three elements interact is presented as the absolute master key to unlocking an unlimited future for human existence.
So how do those elements actually interact? The text presents a very logical cosmic progression. Step 1, perfect your consciousness. By doing this, you naturally trigger Step 2, obtaining a perfect life structure. And once you've got that perfect structure locked in, Step 3 follows seamlessly. You attract the corresponding energy. According to the author, this step-by-step sequence is the exact blueprint required to extend your life, and we're talking capital L-I-F-E here, into unlimited time and space. It's this fascinating cause and effect equation where refining your mind literally unlocks cosmic energy. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how incredibly specific the author gets about spiritual cultivation, mapping it into what we can call 3 pillars. First, through nature. Following your origin, nature leads to the result of becoming a Buddha. Second, love. Loving others leads to becoming a god. And third, Tao. Following the Tao makes you a celestial being. Now, as an explainer, we obviously aren't endorsing these specific spiritual outcomes as literal facts, but it is deeply intriguing to see how the text so systematically categorizes human spiritual actions into these ultimate divine identities. It really treats spirituality like a predictable science.
All of this individual and group cultivation culminates in a grand collective vision, the Lifechanyuan era. This isn't just a minor shift in perspective, it's presented as a total dawn for humanity and the author's absolute highest ideal. The core idea here is to dedicate our strictly limited lifetime on Earth to unlimited creation. It requires a deep, abiding reverence for the greatest creator, for nature, and for life itself. By elevating human consciousness collectively, the text envisions humanity ushering in an entirely new epoch of existence, completely free from our current earthly bonds.
And where does this new epoch actually lead? Well, we start at year 0, which represents our current earthly existence. But as you overcome worldly thoughts, you supposedly progress to a 1,000-year world, then a 10,000-year world, and finally culminating in an eternal state called the Elysium world. This jaw-dropping cosmic scale suggests that our time on Earth is merely the first fleeting stop on an immortal journey through increasingly elevated and majestic spaces. So the crucial point is, how should this infinite scale change our behavior right now, today? The author offers a mind-bending metric for us: 100,000. Forget your 5-year plan or, your retirement 401k. This philosophy asks you to emulate the sages of history, foster righteousness by learning from nature, and literally strategize your spiritual and personal development for the next 100 millennia. Think about that for a second. The scope is just completely staggering.
Which leaves us with a truly provocative question. If you planned your existence on a 100,000-year scale, what would you do differently today to ensure you leave with no regrets? It completely shifts the paradigm of what actually matters, doesn't it? Whether you view this text as literal cosmic instruction or simply a metaphorical tool to vastly expand your thinking, Xu framework really forces us to look past our immediate daily anxieties. It challenges us to build a life of transparent honesty, rebellious optimism, and boundless community. Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer. Take a moment to really reflect on that 100,000-year question, and I'll see you next time.